Because one of the next questions that we have is actually from Maud. Thank you for the question. How can you compare taxes, and how would be the best way to highlight any quality of life issues in the Netherlands? I think that's one for you guys as well. I am expat.
Cool. Yeah, we could talk about taxes. It's probably worth saying that taxes in the Netherlands are generally considered relatively high, but not, higher than you might be used to in your home country, but not as high as in some neighboring countries in Europe, like Germany, for instance. Generally, you can reckon on paying things like payroll tax, which covers a lot of your national insurance contributions, and they're deducted directly from your salary. You also pay like VAT on goods and services, municipal taxes, which generally are included in your rent, and that covers things like property taxes, waste and cleaning levies, and other bits and bobs like that. It's not a tax, but it's also worth mentioning here because it's a kind of mandatory deduction from your salary. Is health insurance is compulsory. We will talk in more detail about health insurance later, but health insurance is a mandatory payment. It's not deducted before tax. You pay it directly from your bank account, but it generally costs around €100 plus a month. So like putting all of that together, like depending on your wage bracket, you can reckon on losing somewhere between 30 to 40% of your salary to taxes and health insurance and mandatory deductions. There's a lot of like tax calculators out there if you want to have an idea about how this, if you're considering a job offer, how this might work out for like take-home pay. You can use a tax calculator to work that out. It's probably the easiest way of getting an accurate number. A little bit about the 30% ruling, because I know that we had some questions about this as well. So in the Netherlands, we have a special kind of tax advantage for highly skilled migrants. So if you specifically relocate from abroad to the Netherlands for a job that is designated as being highly skilled, you qualify for a tax advantage that essentially reduces your taxable salary by 30%. So you only pay taxes on the 70% of your income. To like define someone as highly skilled, the government generally uses a income threshold. So in 2022, it's €39,647 for the 70% of your salary. So if you times that out, it works out about a salary of €56,000 to qualify for the 30% ruling. If you have a master's degree, it's slightly lower. It's €30,001 for the 70%, which works out about €43,000 gross. So it's generally for like the highest salary ranges, but because salaries in the Netherlands are relatively high, it's quite a common thing for skilled migrants to take advantage of, especially working in sectors like IT and tech. We've got some information about the 30% ruling on the IMExpat website if you're interested, so you can read up about it, and there's sort of a lot of details about it, like you're only allowed to claim it for 5 years and stuff like that. So if you are interested in finding out more, you can head to our website for information about that.
Yeah, that's a very great answer. I would also like to add that sometimes when you're moving from abroad to the Netherlands, there can be quite of a shock. Some things can be different across the countries. Right now in the Netherlands, we're experiencing a housing crisis, which can make it as well a little difficult for you to get maybe a single home for you and your family if you're relocating with your family. So what I'm seeing as well is that some candidates that are moving into the Netherlands, they need to make concessions, at least for the first few months. Maybe they need to, share like a living space or something until they get things in order and actually get a viewing and then to get a house. So I would also make sure to keep these things in check and be a little flexible on this if your wish is to really be living in the Netherlands. Shanti, did you have anything else you wanted to add to this?
Yeah, actually about the fact that we do have on our website the cost of living calculator. I think we haven't mentioned that part. Let's send you later on the link. So basically you can compare the cost living from your own country or where you are based at the moment with the one of the Netherlands. So you can compare it and see And again, as Nazar has explained, don't be shocked about the pricing. That it can be, a little bit higher in the Netherlands than, yes, she already sent the link. So you can already find it on the link. And yeah, you can maybe find out more before considering moving to the Netherlands.
That's great. Thanks. How about you, Victoria? Anything you would like to add?
Yeah, I would agree. I think a lot of people are aware, perhaps, that the Netherlands offers quite a high quality of life, but they're maybe not prepared for the costs that come along with it. And it can be a bit of a shock. Generally, it does mean that the salaries are also higher than perhaps what you're used to, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't feel the prices, especially at the minute. I would say that a lot of people are feeling, and they're noticing how quickly prices of food and energy and also house prices are rising. So it's definitely something to take into consideration when preparing for the move. And like you said, concessions, things that are perhaps normal or an everyday item for you in your home country, be ready for it to perhaps cost more here in the Netherlands. But that's not to say that it isn't a nice country as well. I don't want to sort of put you off. It's a lovely country to live in, but it does come with a price.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think that's a very valid point as well that you're displaying, or at least that you're mentioning. I mean, because here in the Netherlands, things can be quite different, and sometimes people are just not aware of it.